Hello, once again. This is Shawn1113, your host for the Shawn1113 Podcast Show. Thank you for listening wherever podcast you may be listening to, wherever platform you may listen to, anywhere and everywhere in the world. Today, recording on February 12th, 2024. We'll be talking extensively about the Super Bowl and its analysis today for this one. Again, there's not much to talk about here, except this was an intense football game, very intense. At first, though, Super Bowl 58 was pretty much a defensive, physical game. Not a lot of scoring, not a lot of things. But then they ramped up in the second half, and basically Kansas City outlasted San Francisco. But San Francisco did, like I said, also to me, special teams played a big role. The muff pump by San Francisco that gave Kansas City actually new life. And then they got the lead 13-10. And then the mixed extra point was a key, was probably the biggest play, the block extra point. As San Francisco was going ahead. And that would eventually force overtime, to be honest. But it was incredible. It was a really good, like I said, it was overtime, second overtime. Really good game, really good defensive game, like an kind of an old school smash football game, school like smash mouth football. If you like, there were definitely elements of that. But I'll tell you. But congratulations over to the Kansas City Chiefs, third championship in 5 years, amazing. I mean, and it made me think so much that in this day and age in sports, it's the system. It's the system of Kansas City right now that is actually kind of made them a dynasty. If you look back, New England before them and all those championships with Brady and Belichick. You look at Golden State in their era of championships. It's been the system there in the NBA. Closest thing to Major League Baseball was San Francisco Giants in the early 2010s. And then the NHL, probably the closest thing was Chicago Blackhawks in the early 2010s. Late 2010s, early 2010s. Probably the closest thing in the NHL. It's the system. To me, you got to beat the system. Like I said, and I'm going to be pretty transparent here. Also, I've been wrong the last 2 years. I thought Philadelphia was going to win last year. I thought they were going to win this Super Bowl. And it got me to thinking, you know what, I might have to, if Kansas City goes to Super Bowl, I'm going to have to pick Kansas City again. Because I think a lot of people who bet on Super Bowls are not going to, if Kansas City goes in Super Bowl 59 next year, I can guarantee you there's a lot more people will be betting on Kansas City next year in 2025 because they don't want to be doubted again. I don't think anybody's going to doubt Kansas City again. But to me, it's the system. Patrick Mahomes is probably the perfect quarterback for that, and he showed he's now that next level tier, not Tom Brady tier, not Joe Montana tier, but definitely up there now. And in this day and age, probably the face of the NFL, whether anybody likes that or not. But it's the system. Andy Reid is definitely now an all-time coach. Certainly in that rare fire when you win 3 Super Bowls. And, it's, like I said, who's going to beat them next year? And they didn't have the best year. The defense carried them for the most part. As for San Francisco, I don't know. What is it? Until they figure a way to beat Kansas City, I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl with Kyle Shanahan. Well, by the way, before I get back to the old coaches, can we give some love to Speaks Magnolia on the defensive side of the football? I mean, That was a terrific second. He makes the best second just of any defensive coordinator I've ever seen in quite some time. And so let's give luck to Spagnolia for that. And Mahomes, certainly, Travis Kelce. What is he doing shouting? I don't understand. What is he doing shouting at Andy Reid for? For no reason whatsoever. I thought he should be embarrassed. I think he embarrassed himself on that one. Travis Kelce, what are you doing? You're one of the best tight ends in football. What are you doing? Jeez. So disrespectful. Jeez. Now, I will not talk about Taylor Swift and any other celebrity for that matter. Okay, it happened. She was shown like five. Well, I will say this: about 10 to 11 times. That's it. And if you took 10 to 11 times, you probably want some money on that. Plus, you barely won money off the 47 and a half. If you took under 47 and a half, you barely won that. And if you took the Chiefs 2+2, you won some money as well. On the betting side of things. Well, that's it for the NFL football season. We'll wait for the NFL draft in April, and we'll see what comes out from that. Also, continuing with Major League Baseball pitchers and catchers report pretty soon with that, as of this recording. Also, NBA, NHL continuing their season. And pretty much the next thing coming up is going to be the NCAA basketball tournament in March. Men's and women's NCAA basketball tournament, a.k.a. March Madness. So definitely looking forward for that when that happens. And like I said, the NFL season has ended, so a lot of sports to go. I mean, almost the Eagles' premier season almost concluded right now. A big race there. We'll see what happens. If Liverpool can hang on, Man City catching up again like they always do when they've won the English Premier League season title. We'll see there. Aston Villa, not that far at all. We'll see what happens there. But that's all I can say right now for the Shawn1113 Podcast Show, February 12th. 2024. Like I said, if you love this content, all the information is down below, but also pretty soon it will be on Riverside because in June 2024, Spotify for podcasts is going to transfer all the recordings and new episodes to Riverside. And also, the email is Shawn47k@gmail.com, Shawn47k@gmail.com. Also, as an attorney, the Valentine's says, please consider National Love Yourself Day on February 14th, because Valentine's Day, I don't care for it, to be perfectly honest. But happy National Love Yourself Day. You got to love yourself before you love others, to be honest with you. So with that, now I've said it all. I've ran out of words, and I'm a little bit under the weather, but thank you for listening to Shawn1113 Podcast Show. Everything I describe is down below the description. And thank you very much for listening. And as always, please stay encouraged no matter what.